You are born in 14th century England, in a house that smells of sweat, sour ale, and boiled cabbage. Your father drinks more than the family eats. Your mother wears herself out praying that the bread will last. From an early age you understand that children are a costly burden, and that in your home there is never enough. At 5 you are already scrubbing floors. At 7 you stir the pot of watery porridge, while your mother murmurs prayers. At 8 your older sister marries, with a pitiful dowry. Your father curses the match for days. At 9 you already know that childhood is not sweet. Your father calls you, the pretty one, with a pat. But that only brings more restrictions. Do not go out alone. Do not speak to men. Do not look too long. At 12 he renames you my ruin. Suitors appear, some of them old, but they demand high dowries. Drunk, your father insults them and drives them away, until the convent's offer arrives. Give a daughter as an offering to God, and you will receive help for the winter. He signs without you seeing. They shave your head in the square, while women bless you, and men smile with mockery. Your mother weeps in silence. The convent looks serene from the outside, pale stone, clean courtyard. Inside, the doors close like a prison. The bell rings at 4 in the morning. If you are late, you kneel on salt. The abyss is pure ice. Obedience is born where comfort dies. You scrub stone until you bleed. Eat cold porridge, while you watch the priest devour meat and warm bread. They call you sacrifice. You call it hunger. The senior nuns monitor every sigh. One pinches you for breathing too loudly during prayer. Another steals the crust a cook gave you in secret and keeps it for herself while shouting gluttony. You are the lowest rung, the alms of a drunk. Your days are bruised knees, fasts that blur your sight, invented guilt. At night, on damp straw, you wonder whether this is divine will or simply cruelty in a habit. At 15, the papal decree arrives, total enclosure. No family visits, windows closed, gardens forbidden. The air grows heavier. Whispered stories circulate of nuns who escaped. One faked her death with a doll. Another fled with her lover. Sister Eleanor, barely older than you, confesses that she was forced and so the inheritance would not be divided. She does not seek love, only air. You help her. You distract the gatekeeper while she escapes in laundry clothes. She succeeds. By dawn the abbess knows everything. You are punished in public. Fasting, lashes, hours on frozen stone. When the rod falls, you think of Eleanor breathing freely. The pain does not make you regret helping her. The real question is another. Was it worth staying for your father? If you had fled, the convent would have lost its payment. You look at the bars and understand. Escape would be a miracle. Survival is the true punishment. Soon after, the abbess places a wooden whip in your trembling hands. Strike until the sin leaves you. You do it once, then again, but the sisters raise their chant, and soon the blows lose rhythm and mercy. The leather opens your skin across shoulders, arms, and legs. Blood soaks the habit and binds it to you. You fall. They force you to stand. A penitent remains upright. The abbess reminds you. When you finally collapse without strength, the pain is only a distant buzzing, and in that emptiness you understand. This is not God. These are the rules of men, the punishments of men, the guilt invented by men. Your body is the stage on which they display their power. When you think they will continue, a priest appears, his vestments brushing the floor like a sentence. You believe he will worsen your punishment. Instead, he bends down, lifts your chin, and promises to intercede. He speaks aside with the abbess. You do not hear the words, but she withdraws displeased. He smiles. He says everything is settled. You are taken to the infirmary. Fever, torn flesh, aching ribs. Weeks pass before you can walk without staggering. As you recover, you receive a notice. The priest wishes to see you. You go to the rectory to thank him, but his expression makes it clear he expects no gratitude. He approaches. You try to step back. You murmur an apology, but he corners you. He wants something more. You understand then that his compassion had a price. In this prison with sacred walls, salvation means possession. At first you tense, lower your eyes, try to resist. He mentions your scars. You grow still. You obey. The habit falls. You tell yourself it will end soon, that it is nothing. Even so, You count every moment as it happens. When it is over, you want to report him, but his gaze paralyzes you. You only whisper that he has betrayed the church. He replies calmly, "I am the church." And from that day on, you are assigned to his spiritual direction. The more time you spend under his guidance, the more you understand how the convent truly works. It is not a sanctuary. It is a mechanism sustained by fear, money, and silence. While the priest summons you under the excuse of spiritual correction and reinforces his authority with threats that leave visible marks, the abbess begins to look at you with open contempt. Not because she wants to save you, but because you have become a risk. A priest's attention toward a young girl disturbs her balance, her control, her agreements with the men who finance the place. Soon you discover how power circulates. The abbess who preaches humility at dawn negotiates land in the afternoon and adjusts donations as if moving chess pieces. She trades favors with noble families and hides debts beneath solemn ceremonies. The same cloister that demands enclosure opens without hesitation when wealthy benefactors arrive. They enter with servants, abundant food, and loud conversations that shatter any vow of silence. And she bows before them, compliant amid incense and smiles, serving wine and cleaning the remains of banquets. You hear what should never be spoken aloud. You discover you are not the only one. Other young women, even some older ones, have gone through the same with the priest. Your story becomes an open secret that everyone pretends to ignore. The abbess blames you for disturbing the order. He calls your silence devotion. The others look away, not out of cruelty, but out of fear. They know what happens when a girl attracts the wrong attention in a place where sin is defined by whoever holds power. The following months are a repetition of abuse and isolation, until one morning you feel a different kind of weakness. It does not alarm you at first. Hunger and exhaustion have been your constant companions. But when your belly begins to change, the air catches in your chest. You understand immediately what it means, and you also know that no one will accept the truth. The murmurs grow before you hear clear words. The novices stare at your abdomen. The nuns cross themselves as if they were seeing a plague. The abbess summons you with a cutting glance. "A child," she declares, circling you. Proof of your corruption. You try to explain yourself, but she silences you with a gesture. Then you notice she is not alone. The priest stands beneath the crucifix, among those who judge. Serene, untouchable, sacred. He raises his hand and declares that you provoked the temptation. That is enough. The version is fixed. Your body becomes evidence. Your child. Proof of a crime no one wishes to attribute to the true responsible party. The following Sunday, they drag you before the village, gathered from Massachusetts. The bells ring like an announcement of condemnation. They force you to kneel on the steps, the weight in your belly, the stone burning your knees. The priest demands a confession. You say you have not sinned. He repeats it, once more, and again. Finally, under everyone's gaze, you yield, not because you lie, but because here the truth has no value. You speak the sins assigned to you: lust, pride, witchcraft, disobedience. A murmur runs through the church as if they were celebrating. The sentence arrives: exile, excommunication, erasure. You return home because you have nowhere else to go. Your father does not let you in. He closes the door while you beg. "You shame us," he says. "You brought this on yourself." You step into the world with dishonor as your only possession, not free, discarded, condemned for having survived another's sin. You settle on the outskirts, where crooked huts and broken carts are piled together, the place of those who were cast out before you. There, months later, you give birth alone, in a shack made of stolen boards and mud. You scream into the straw so the village will not hear you. There is no midwife, no mother to guide you. Only you and the medical lessons learned in the convent, meant for healing, not for childbirth. When the baby falls into your trembling hands, bruised and covered in blood, you press him to your chest and whisper the only blessing you have left: live, even if the world hates you. You raise him far from bells and accusing stares. Each day is survival, scraps gathered, herbs boiled, labor exchanged for hard bread. You discover that raising him is harsher than the convent and crueler than exile. He grows hungry, alert, watching the world that rejects him. You teach him to boil water, to stitch wounds, to run when men bare their teeth. At 27, the rumors begin, the plague. First in the city, then in the villages, advancing along the roads. Doors are barred, monks flee, dogs die beside their masters. Order collapses within weeks. You try to protect him. You ration food. You prepare infusions. You pray words you no longer believe. But the fever reaches you. Swollen joints, darkened skin, a wheezing breath. You recognize the signs. You have seen death before. He cries at your side and begs you not to sleep. You order him to stay away. He does not obey. One morning you discover a black swelling blooming on his neck, and something inside you breaks. You hold him even as the illness consumes you. You whisper into his hair, "Survive." Then your lungs give in. You die in silence, without miracles, without candles. At nightfall the plague cart arrives. No one asks your name or your story. They lift you by wrists and ankles and throw you onto rigid bodies buzzing with flies. Your head strikes the torso of a stranger. No one notices. They carry you through the same village that cast you out, past doors that never opened for you, to a mass grave where bodies are thrown without care, without shroud, without prayer, without name. Only a pit overflowing with victims of the plague. Over the passing centuries, your identity dissolves and your story wears away until it disappears. While in the archives, monks copy hymns about pure virgins and obedient nuns, and chroniclers celebrate prudent abbesses and mystics worthy of remembrance. But never you. Your agony survives only in the silences, in the gaps of the records, in what was not written about in closure nor meant to be heard, until your life ends up becoming what was expected of so many women: absence. And of your son, perhaps. No one will ever know what became of him.